Hi, Story Wilson with rswsolutions.com. This is a fuse box on a P38 Range Rover, and we're going to be working today with Relay 6 and Relay 7. These relays are responsible for controlling the main battery voltage supply to the left and right HVAC blower motors. And in some of my previous videos, I've been working with the blower motors and the fuse box and trying to get the HVAC to work again. And I have been diving into every system imaginable. I've taken this fuse box completely out of the vehicle, disassembled it, repaired solder traces, solder joints, put it all back together. I've taken all the blower motors out of the vehicle, stripped them down, cleaned all the contacts and communicators and relays and just everything. And I still have an intermittent blower motor operation I cannot figure out. I get everything back together at work, and then next key cycle, one of the blower motors would stop, and I finally figured out the very last problem. Now, this is not the only problem. I did have a lot of problems with the system, but this last problem was just driving me up the freaking wall. So, the problem was, if you hear this, I was doing a couple things. One, I was measuring voltage at the blower motor, and I would have voltage there, which was a good sign, but then it would disappear, and I couldn't figure out why. So let's hear. This relay, when you put it in, it clicks. And that clicking means that it's receiving a low current signal from the HVAC to energize the relay coil, and the relay coil is energizing, closing the contacts are clicking, and everything should be fine. Voltage should be going to the blower motor. But problem was, these relays were only intermittently working. The actual contacts inside, even though they were closing, they weren't actually always making proper contact. We're going to go to the bench, open some of these up, and I'll show you exactly what was going on. So let's do a quick overview of how we're going to test this relay and how relays work. So this is a standard ohm meter that you see here, and the way an ohm meter works, it's set up to test continuity. When it's connected, you hear a beep. That means that it's a closed circuit and electricity will flow through. So a relay is basically a coil and a switch. You see the coil and the copper wire, and then the switch that closes. Click, 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 click. That's the clicking noise you hear in the fuse box that we were just looking at. So to test the relay, it's real simple. These two parallel pins right here. This is the coil, and you'll see about 75, 80 ohms on the ohm meter. And these two perpendicular pins. These are the pins that are connected to the physical switch. So that when the coil energizes, the switch is closed. And right now, there's nothing because the switch is open. And the problem I was having is that for some reason, these brand new relays in operation for about 3 days start doing this. With coil energized, you hear a click, but the switch isn't working. So I'll show you. I close it manually. Nothing. Close it manually. Nothing. There should be continuity there. For some reason, whether it's a physical problem or there's carbon buildup on the pads. Now if I press really hard, it'll work. There you go. Press a lot harder, and it'll make good contact. There we go. But under normal operation, when it's just closing by itself, nothing. Terrible. Push hard, it works. So, lesson learned. Never trust these relays. Never trust anything. Investigate every part of the schematic that you're working with. Don't make any assumptions. My assumption that was incorrect was if the relay was clicking, that contact was working. But in this case, I guess these cheap replacements just don't cut it. Now, I did notice the exact same problem with two of the original yellow relays that were in the fuse box. That was actually the problem. I opened up these yellow relays the same way I did this. I cleaned up these contacts, and I kind of realigned them a little bit, and they work now. So keep that in mind. You can repair these. I would keep the original yellow ones if they aren't burnt out. Anyway, don't make any assumptions, and check everything step by step with the relays for the blower motor. Thanks for watching.